Y'all. Hello, hello, hello. People of the stream. How are you doing? How's everybody doing? I see Anita's out there and Sophia's out there. If you're out in the Twitch chat, please say hi. If you're out in the YouTube chat, also please say hi. I'm having a bit of a technical issue today in that I am not seeing the YouTube chat in the multi-stream tab on my Streamlabs, which means I have the YouTube chat popped out from the YouTube site next to my Streamlabs. So if you're on YouTube, I'm hoping to keep up like in that way. So hopefully I won't miss anything. So how's everybody doing? Emily's also here. Hi, Emily. Good to see you. Good to see you. How are you today? So, it's a rough week this week. So, one of my very close friends was in emergency surgery last night with a dissected aorta. She did not die immediately, which was good, and they diagnosed it relatively quickly. They then sent her by, I think, ambulance to a hospital where there was a surgeon available, and she had the surgery last night. It was probably about a 7 or 8 hour surgery. Went really, really well, and she's in recovery. As of about 5 this morning, they still had her on the breathing tube, and she was still sleeping, and so they were going to keep her that way for 3 to 5 hours so her body could, reacclimate, I guess, to breathing it, using its own lungs and things, because they had to put her on heart-lung bypass during the surgery and then take her off of it. So I talked to her husband about an hour ago, I guess. And he was on his way back to the hospital. He got about 3 hours sleep last night at home. And so he was on his way back to the hospital. So that's what's been going on for me the last 24 hours. Emily's doing all right. Just got to write for an hour or so over lunch. And oh no, glad your friend is stable for now, but that is scary. It is scary. Like, there's a good portion of people who have that who don't survive the first I don't want to call it an attack, but when it first happens. And she had some chest pains last week, and it's very possible that that's kind of when it started. And Yeah, so the fact that she was even alive to be in the surgery is like really good. So, but she's doing really well. Her surgeon said that it went absolutely as well as it could possibly go. So that is definitely a positive. So so if it's also possible, I might be getting additional phone calls today and stuff. So I just ask you to be patient with me if I'm talking and my phone goes off and then all of a sudden we jump into the sprint. So I don't anticipate that will happen because I don't think that he'll call me back until later today unless something bad happens. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. But it's been a rough 12 hours. I'm not even gonna lie. 15 hours, I guess. So yeah, so what's everybody working on? I was actually a guest co-host on the Time Pirates sprint on the Cursed Dragon ship YouTube this morning because one of the co-hosts had to go to an awards thing for her kid's school. So I hung out for the first 2 sprints, and then she came back and I dropped off and so that I could prep for this. So I've been on camera almost since I woke up this morning. So as you can see, I'm in my nice fuzzy robe. I washed it because last time I was wearing it was when I was really sick. And so, it had sick sweat in it and all that kind of stuff. So it just came out of the dryer yesterday or day before yesterday, I think. So I am in my nice clean robe. So, yeah. Anita's working on odds and ends today and will have to pop off early. All right. Well, thank you for being with us while you're able. Always appreciate you. So I've got I've got a bunch of emails I have to send. So that's probably what I'm going to tackle first is working on those. 'Cause I have a ton of emails that I haven't done this week that I had divided out on my to-do list to do a couple Monday, a couple Tuesday, a couple Wednesday. Did I get any of them done? 2. And the rest have just been piling up over the days. So I'm gonna continue to work on getting through those. And most of them are quick emails. They'll take maybe 10 minutes. And so yeah, So I'm gonna try to cross that shit off my list, at least in the first sprint or 2. Alicia is over in YouTube. Hi, Alicia. Alicia was the one I was filling in for earlier. So she says, hello, Vanessa, just joining and we'll be working on planner stuff, then reading. Excellent. So I put, it's come through again. So my multi-stream chat wasn't working when we first started the stream, but it seems to be working now because now I can see Alicia's post and I can also see Emily's post. So Emily's working on the same sapphic human and vampire romance book she's been working on for the last few weeks on chapter 3 currently. Yay. Alicia says, thank you for filling in for me. It was my honor. It was so exciting being up there. I felt so professional. So yeah, and I'm glad you got to go to your kids' awards thing. That's awesome. So, yay. So, all right. So I'm going to be working on emails. Anita's working on odds and ends. Emily is working on the sapphic romance book. And Sophia, what are you working on today? Sophia's not doing anything right now. I mean, you've had a very long day, so that is absolutely a valid thing. I might not do anything for the rest of the evening, but productivity might rear its ugly head if I'm lucky. Such a sentence of opposites, right? But honestly, though, if you do feel the need just to chill out, play a game, read a book. All of that counts as productivity too. Maybe not the playing the game, but definitely the reading the book counts as productivity. Alicia says, yes, they were excited to see me. The kiddos. Yay. I'm so glad. Yes. Huzzah. All right. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to say, but no, there's not really. So I figure we can just get right into it. Does that sound good? As a quick reminder, we do not have music during the sprints unless someone on Twitch purchases music with their plot bunnies, which is the channel currency. And yeah, so there's that. All right, so let's get into it. Let me find my... I have so many windows open, y'all. It's kind of gross. So let me find my Spirit City. There we go. As you can see, I have a wintry scene going on here because... Why? Because it is currently... Well, it's 45 degrees now, but it was 28 degrees when I woke up this morning. Fahrenheit, obviously. And we're supposed to get a wintry mix, including freezing rain and ice this weekend. So that's going to be awesome. So yeah. All right, but let's go ahead and get into it. I have 20 minutes on the clock. Here we go. All right, y'all, that's the first sprint. How did everybody do? I sent out a couple of the emails I needed to send out, and I opened up a thing for the next email I have to do, which is a DragonCon email. So, hang on, let me do this thing real quick. So welcome into Robbie, and welcome into Vale over on Twitch, and then on YouTube, we've got Alicia and Kelly popped in for a second to say hello and hit the like button before she's off running errands in her crazy life. So let's see. Vale, who has just joined us, said they have over 500 words today. Yes, but so far, but mentally preparing for an attempted coup and an intense action sequence. So I couldn't tell if you were talking about like U.S. global relations or your book. So like fiction, truth, we don't know anymore. It's all the same. So excellent. So yeah, like I said in the chat, that was just our first sprint, so we still got plenty of time to get stuff done. All right. Sophia started to crochet. Excellent. Emily said 200 words. Less than I wanted, but progress is progress. That's exactly right. Spent too long coming up with names for some side characters, probably. If you came up with the names, you did not take too long. You took exactly the amount of time you needed. Just saying. But I enjoy coming up with names. Exactly. So Alicia over on YouTube says, I make a tax folder for that stuff. Okay. Oh, for that makes sense. I have to set mine up too. The reason like I tripped over that is like, oh, I have to set mine up too. So yeah. Cleaned up my dishes and worked on one planner. Need to do 2 more. That's a lot of planners, but I love it. You're so organized. You've got all your little things. I love it. Anita shared a few things and got them off the list. Yes. Emily laughs and says, I had the same thought about the characters and spending time. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Okay. Not about the characters. Let me finish. Emily had the same thought. I legit thought Vale Reth was talking about in real life stuff. I was like, oh, did I miss a headline? Is there another coup attempt ongoing? I know, it wasn't until I got to the rest of the sentence where it said an intense action sequence. I was like, oh, they're not talking about real life. They're talking about their book. Because definitely the coup parts. That's a sad thing to say, but definitely the coup part. I entirely thought we were talking about public relations. So, all right. So I'm going to get back to writing that email for DragonCon. What I'm trying to do is figure out the logistics of something really cool that I want to do. But I can't just like do it myself because it's going to take some finagling. And so I need to know who I need to talk to, whether we have the capacity to do the thing I want to do and all that. So that's what this email is. I already touched base with this chick at the director's meeting the other weekend, but I want to send her up a follow-up email with, on paper exactly like what I'm looking to do and how I'm envisioning doing it, and then I'm asking if we have the capacity to do it that way. So, Sophia says, these are strange times to be alive in. Aren't they just? Alicia says, yeah, I have 3 planners. I used to put everything in one planner, and it's much easier to have things separated between everyday, budget, and reading/YouTube. Yes, that makes entirely total sense to me. Sophia says, times where you can go to war with your fucking allies over Greenland just for the sake of your ego. Yes. Like, we don't need Greenland. We don't need Greenland. It's a resources grab, just like Venezuela was. All right, anyway. And Robbie is agreeing with Sophia. Yeah, okay. But we are going to focus on the shit we need to get done. And we can stress about the state of the world. I mean, in the back of our heads, let's just say that. But later. Okay. I am going to go off camera for the first couple minutes of the sprint because I did not time things properly. And I need to go get tea because I'm finishing the last cup of coffee and I need to get some tea. So, all right. Yes, Robbie, let's get shit done. Anita says Canadian military is now making invasion models because of course, somebody's going to have to handle this. I used to have a lot of faith in our CIA that they wouldn't let anybody like take over the US from the inside because they just like to kill people all the time, but clearly I was not correct in that assessment. All right. Robbie is eating. And Sophia says Greenland doesn't want you either. I know. For the record, no matter what American media might want to lie about in the next few months. And I'm going to say not all American media is lying about it, just so you know. There's a whole huge number of us who understand this. Vale says, a little metal helps me. I like Master Boot Record. Great music. Thank you for the music rack. I'm not a big metal fan. I don't mind the metal bands of like the 80s because now they're nostalgic for me, but I wasn't into them then either. Alicia says, yeah, getting things done. Let's do it, y'all. Okay, I'm going to start the timer as soon as I figure out where my mouse is. And here we go. That was the timer, y'all. I was well and deep into this email that I'm sending, which is significantly longer than the other emails I have had to send today. This has to do with a charity thing that I want to do with my track at DragonCon to benefit our charity this year, which is Hope Atlanta. They feed and help unhoused people across the Atlanta area. They're a really good organization, so I'm super excited that that we've got them this year. So I have some charity events that I want to put together, but I need help because I don't know how logistically that works within the DragonCon organization, because it's only my second year as director, and this was not stuff that my director, when I was the assistant, was motivated to do or clued me in when she was doing things like that. So, and that's not to say she's a bad person or anything. It's just that she was very control freakish, and yeah. And so anyway, so I don't know who I'm supposed to be talking to. So like this email is basically like, this is what I want to do. This is how I envision it. If this is possible, let me know what I need to do in order to make it happen. And if this is not possible, tell me how to change it so that it is possible. So that's what I'm working on. Let's see. Anita got the last of the sharing done. Yay. Good job. Good job. What's next then? Alicia over on YouTube says, I updated the second planner. Only one left to go. Yes. We love that. Good job. Good job. And Emily got 526 words total for the day so far and needs to hop off for work. Thank you for sharing your lunch with us, Emily. Really appreciate these sprints, though. They're helping keep me accountable, and I'm definitely getting more written than I would without the sprints and co-working sessions. Yes, that's the goal, right? I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you maybe tomorrow. So, cool. Sophia says, I finished crochet for the day. What were you working on, by the way? Might just sit here for at least a sprint and see if something happens. Like just something magically happens. Yeah, veg out, babe. Veg out. You had a long day. Mandy walked the dog, ate a bar, and now drinking coffee. I feel like you can check that shit right off. What are you going to start working on when you're ready to hunker down and focus? Anita says, email stuff is next. I understand. Sophia says, what she was working on was the baby blanket for a coworker. I love that. And Mandy has no clue what she's going to work on next. I also feel that. I'm actually working on my to-do list from yesterday because I literally only got 2 things crossed off of it. So yeah. So I'm working on yesterday's to-do list, which just means those things are not going to like transfer over to today. So then I'll have to do today's list. But when I was doing this week's planning, I recognized that I was really front-loading the week a lot. Like I was and I do this all the time. I put the vast majority of the things I need to do on Monday and Tuesday. And then I spend the rest of the week feeling shitty about not getting that done. So I feel like I need to change how I do that. Vale says, anyone have a good place to post stories, part by part over time, sci-fi and fantasy focus preferred? I would think Royal Road, or what's the other one that's big right now? Royal Road is definitely one of the bigger ones, and there's another one, but I can't think of it. Of course, Wattpad, but there's another one, and I can't think of what it is. Hopefully somebody in the chat will be able to also answer. Mandy says, I'm stiff in the morning, so I'll probably read for a bit. That's valid. So tonight, it's Wednesday, so tonight Kelly has reading sprints over on the Cursed Dragon ship, and the last few weeks I've been trying to drop in on those and read because I haven't been doing enough. Sorry, I just got a text. I haven't been reading enough for pleasure, and that's one of my goals this year. I've already finished 2 books this month. So I'm going to share with you as much as I can of the text I just got from my friend whose wife is in the hospital that we just had that conversation about. They woke her up to check some stuff. she was responsive and shot the bird at the doctor and the ICU nurse, and then they put her back under. And I feel like that was smart. So she's fine. She's gonna be fine. So that's such a relief. Jeez. So let's see. Oh, anyway, so I've been dropping in on Kelly's reading sprints and several other folks who do reading sprints across YouTube to try to read more, because I do also think that that's part of my problem with writing, is that the last several years I have not been reading to any great degree. I've been reading here and there, but not anything ongoing, right? And so I think this will help, because you've got to refill your creative well. And if you're not doing that, I've just been doing that with like TV series and movies. I haven't been doing that with written stuff. So let's see. Let me look. So Anita says, I've been shifting things from day to day for several days now. That's like my weekly, that's like one of the things I should just put on my to-do list, because then I can just cross it off when I've moved things around. Sophia says, to Vale, you can post on AO3, which is an archive of our own, but original works won't get many eyes on them. Yeah, because it's mostly fanfic. Mandy says, nice, which I think was to my friend who's in the hospital. Sophia says, but if you market your story elsewhere, you can do the actual posting on AO3. Sophia says, I'm happy to hear about it. I think about my friend. Alicia says, Kelly will be... there's also... okay. Alicia, thank you for the correction. So tonight, Kelly will be with Alicia, and her YouTube channel is Books and Things with Alicia, as you can see in the chat, Alisha, Books and Things with Alicia. Kelly will be with me on my channel for the 100 Pages Book Club Reading Raven Scholar. That's right. I know I'm not reading that book. I'm reading other books, but you can read whatever you want when you're there. Vale said, yeah, I've heard of Royal Road and AO3. Alicia says, laugh out loud. Oh no, laugh out loud, which I think was about my friend. Vale says, yeah, I need to read more as well. So I encourage you to drop into the chat. So it's going to be on Alicia's YouTube channel. Again, that is Books and Things with Alicia. Sophia says, yeah, without reading, you won't get the creative well related to words themselves refilled. Exactly right. Exactly right, Sophia. Just the storytelling. And storytelling for a visual medium is entirely different than storytelling for a written medium. They're similar in many aspects, but the details are very different. So yeah, okay, so I think I'm caught up on the chat. It's time for a break though. So since I already refilled and I already went to the bathroom, I am going to say though, this is the time we usually set aside if you need to get up and go do some things real quick or do the laundry or whatever. If you need something to eat, something to drink, you need to use the restroom. Like I said, we've set this time aside to do that. Also, though, if you've been here this whole time and you've been sitting, at least get up out of your chair, move around, walk around your office or your house or whatever. Just get the blood flowing again. And if you haven't taken your meds yet, I still have 4 pills to take for the day. If you haven't taken your meds yet, please take your meds. Please take your meds. It's your reminder. Okay, we're going to AFK. I'm going to AFK for just a couple minutes, and then I will be right back, and we'll chat until the end of the break. I guess I should put the timer on. Okay, so I've got the red timer up, which will be on the Be Right Back screen, and I will be right back. was really digging that music, y'all. That was fun. Okay, let me put the timer up on this screen so that y'all can see how much time we have left. Move it over a little bit. All right. So, yeah. So my friend is, I think, going to be okay. They're going to check her. They've put her back to sleep, and then they're going to check her blood gases and stuff. And if everything's still good, in a couple hours, they are going to remove the ventilator. So she will be breathing on her own. So yeah. Right, Alicia? Dance party. I really like this station. It is the Electro Swing station. It's just so happy. Okay. It's just so happy. I love it. And Alicia, right at the beginning of the break, she confirmed that, yeah, you don't have to read Raven Scholar. You can read whatever and hang out with us, but they are reading Raven Scholar. And it's funny because, like, when I saw, before they started reading, when I saw they were reading it, I went into Libby, to check out the electronic book from my library. There was like a 14-week wait. 14-week wait. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be reading this with them, clearly. But I did put a hold on it. And Alicia, what's the one that you guys are going to read that has the blue cover? Wait a minute, let me look it up. Because I put a hold on that one too, and it's already available, but I'm waiting to get it until it's closer to time. It is The Book of Doors by Gareth Brown. So I think I'm going to try to be reading that. I don't even know if, like, I know Kelly's reading it, but I don't know if it's for, like, a book club or whatever that you're also in. I don't know. I'm just going to read it. Yeah, The Book of Doors, exactly. I don't know if, I don't know what's going on with that with y'all, but I just want to read with you. Like, I'm not a book club person in that I don't necessarily want to get together and chat about it, although I'm okay to do that. But I FOMO when you guys are reading a thing together. I'm like, I want to read that too. So yeah, so I put that on hold for another 2 weeks, because I think it's like 2 or 3 weeks before it gets started with it. So I'm gonna let that sit and cook for a while. Timer's going off. See, I told you. So yeah, let's see. Then after Book of Doors, we're reading Pride and Prejudice. Yeah, I'm gonna skip that one. I'm not interested in reading Pride and Prejudice, so I'll skip that one. But I do plan on reading Book of Doors with y'all. I don't even honestly know what it's about. I haven't even read the blurb of it. I have no idea what it's about, but y'all are reading it, so I'm gonna read it with you. So yeah. But I did finish my second book of the year reading yesterday, or day before yesterday, night before last. It was night before last. And so the next book I'm going to read, I don't have it here. The next physical book that I'm going to read is Pirate Scourge by Chris A. Jackson. I've been meaning to read it for like the last 6 months, and I just haven't been. It was supposed to be next on my list, but then I decided to read skinnier books so that I would get that endorphin boost when I finish it. So it's the next one on the list, and so I'm going to start reading that. But I want to finish reading some. So I read 3 books at the same time: audiobook, a paperback, and an ebook. And the ebook I'm reading is Stone Mask. I think that's what it's called. It's a Medusa retelling, and it's really good. It's different. The way it's written is way different than most stuff you read, but I'm really enjoying it. But I'm about 28% in, but I need to focus on that and finish that first, since we'll be reading Book of Doors, and I'm going to be reading that on my phone. Is either of them Murderbot? I also have that on hold with the library. I have that on hold. It still has a 5-week wait. So it's there, Sophia. It's there. I'm ready. So I'm going to be reading that. That'll be my next electronic read after Book of Doors, assuming that I get it by then. We start Book of Doors on February the 25th. Oh, that's going to be a while. I may get started on it early. So, Mandy says we're fairly stocked on food for the weekend, but there's a few things that would be nice. I feel like I missed something about going to the grocery store. No, maybe I didn't. Oh, I just heard of that Stone Mask. It's good. It's written in a really different kind of vibe. Like, it doesn't read like I'm used to reading a lot of urban fantasy and alternate history kind of fantasy and stuff like that. And the tone of it and the way it's delivered is interesting. And when the point of view is from, one thing I find really interesting is there's head hopping in certain places. It's specifically when it's a scene with Hera and Zeus. It's specifically their scenes. And I'm taking it to mean it's because they're the king and queen of the gods. But all of the other ones, there's not head hopping when it's one of the other characters, even if there's two characters together. Anyway, which book in Murderbot? I haven't read any of them, so I'm going to read the first one. Because Martha Wells is one of our guests of honor for Multiverse in October, so I feel like I should read something. I feel like I should read something. So, Sophia says, okay, I will allow a delay due to access issues. Thank you, my friend. You did promise after all. I did promise, and I keep my promises. If it's at all within my power, I keep my promises. So I'm just waiting for it. Sophia said, I just remembered I forgot to pick up a package that had books in it. What? How did you forget that? This realization makes me sad. Books belong among their peers, not lying overnight at some pickup place. I agree. I hope those books don't hold it against you, because that would be very sad. Mandy says, sorry, that was supposed to be what I'm doing this sprint. Gotcha. Shopping for the weekend weather. That's the piece that was missing. Although, yeah, you're supposed to be getting snow. Yeah, we're supposed to be getting freezing rain and a wintry mix, which is always lovely when you don't have any infrastructure to handle that sort of thing. But it'll be fine. Alicia says, I love Murderbot. I'm on book 5 when I get to it. Nice. You should come to Multiverse. I'm just saying. You're really not that far because you're down in Florida. So, it's like a 6 or 8 hour drive for you. I'm just saying. And actually not even probably that long because it's south of Atlanta. So you wouldn't even have to get to Atlanta. Sophia says, see earlier, long day. No, I get it. I just hope that the books don't hold it against you. I got The Tainted Cup on a blind recommendation from a friend I trust on BookRex. That's nice. I don't know I feel like I've seen the cover for it, but I could be wrong. I could be picturing something else. Yeah. All right. But our timer went off quite a while ago. So let us get back into it, y'all. I'm going to try to finish up this email. We'll see. I feel like I'm near the end of it. So we'll see how it goes. Sophia says, book 5 of Murderbot is so good, though. It was the first to be a novel, not a novella. That's awesome. And it's so satisfying in a way that usually only fanfic is. Nice. I like it. Okay. All right. So, 5 weeks. 5 weeks. End of February, I should get it. All right. Anita has heard good things about The Tainted Cup. All right. Another one to add. Well, I'll wait until one of y'all reads it, and then you can tell me how it is. All right. But I have 20 minutes on the clock, so let's get right back into it. Here we go. Okay, that was the timer again. Last time I looked at it, I still had 4 minutes and 32 seconds. And then the timer went off. I was rereading. I finished up that email, but I was That's what I was in the middle of doing when the timer will change a little bit. But when you're in the middle, like when you don't know what's going to happen, that's a different kind of stress. And I didn't want to add that to her unnecessarily. So I let her know what's going on just so she knows. Alicia says that time is going fast. Yeah, it is. But I guess that means we're in the zone. So that's a good thing. Mandy is still shopping for food. That's actually a really good idea. I think I have a Dinnerly coming. Oh, it's not coming till next week because it's already Wednesday. So it's coming next week. So I should probably look at that. Or send my husband out. One or the other. So, all right. How'd everybody else do? Only a couple people checking in. Anita, Sophia, did you pass out over there? Who else we got over on Twitch? Robbie, how are you doing? I haven't heard from you in a while. And Vale, what's going on there? Alicia says, I'm working on the last planner. And I'm trying to find a Dalmatian shirt for my daughter for her 101st day of school events. Oh my God, that's so cute. I love that. I love that. Anita worked on the email stuff. Twitch was lagging because of course it was. Mandy says, my Hungry Root came yesterday. How do you like Hungry Root? I don't know. I don't know. It seemed, when I haven't looked at it in quite a long time, but it seemed kind of expensive. Mm-hmm. Like it was just giving you a bunch of that expensive stuff you would buy in a very bougie, health-oriented kind of store. It just seemed kind of expensive, but again, like that's just me. Vale is staring at part 5's blank document. Yeah, I get it. That's hard. Just throw some words on there. Just do some stream of consciousness on there. You can always delete it later. Just throw some words on so it's not blank anymore. That'll help. That'll help. All right. So we've got another sprint coming up. So let me find my thing. Okay. Whoa. Oh, I'm tired. I'm not caught up on sleep from the night before last. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into it. I am going to finish this damn email. What am I going to do after that? Oh, I've got to do some multiverse stuff. For some reason, I've been putting it off, and I don't know why. It's dumb. It's because there's a lot of emails I have to go through, and I just don't feel like going through the emails. That's really what it is. So I need to just hunker down and do it. Alicia says, woo, sold a book on my Pango. Yay, book sales. Huzzah. Awesome. Congratulations, Alicia. Nice going. Nice going. All right. That's not the right thing. That's not where the timer is. That's where the timer is. Okay, y'all. Some little love from our blob over here. I made our little blob wintry. Has little snowflakes in him. He's so cute. Okay. So, Alicia says, thank you. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Okay, y'all. Let's do another 20 minutes, shall we? Here we go. Oh, wait, hang on. Let me turn off the other timer. Y'all don't need to see the red timer on here. All right, here we go. 20 minutes. I caught it that time, y'all. Yes. So, how'd everybody do? Welcome in, James. Hello, friend. I asked how James was doing, and he said, oh, causing trouble as always. I mean, at least you're consistent. Like, we know exactly what to expect. So, what are you going to work on today? We're actually getting ready to take a little break, so that was excellent timing. And I know Sophia went to bed, so I hope she's having lovely dreams. Mandy placed the order for delivery within 3 hours. Yes. Excellent. Good, good. So what are you going to work on next after the break? So I will need to go off camera, refill my tea. I also have to use the restroom. So if you need to do either of those things, or you need to get something to eat, I should probably get lunch. I should probably do that too. This seems like a good break time. I did send that email, and then not anticipated. I considered getting started on the multiverse stuff and doing a Dragon Con thing I need to do. But then I decided those are both too big for where my brain is right now, so I need to wait on those a little bit. I actually realized one of the multiverse things I shouldn't actually do until next week. So I'm going to change that to next week. Let's see. Mandy says, it costs too much energy for me to go to the store, and Walmart is hell for Matt, so we pay extra for delivery. No, like, I am not, absolutely no judgment. You do what you need to do for your own mental and physical health. Like, that's, yeah. I mean, I don't like to go shopping, period. I don't like going to stores. I never have. I have never been the kind of woman who's just like, let's go shopping. No, it's like, I need a thing. I must brave the shopping experience. I don't generally mind grocery shopping, but I also don't have to do that usually because my husband likes to grocery shop. So he's the one who, like, 90% of the time does the grocery shopping. I like thrift store hunting. I also like thrift store hunting, but I have too much shit, so I don't do that anymore. Although Goodwill has an online store, so there are certain things in my life that I'm looking for. As a matter of fact, I got a new leather jacket, a really nice motorcycle jacket for like $35 or $40 with shipping, I think. And it's a good jacket. It needed some love because it was very dry, so it needed some moisturizing. But I had Holly come over and do it for me. I mean, I can do it myself, but she likes doing it, and she likes, being of service. So I'm like, you're coming over anyway. We're going to hang out. Here, work on my coat. So yeah, I also got a pair of chaps from there. And I got a Cricut machine, which I have not yet hooked up at all, for like $30. And something else. But yeah, I don't shop. Oh, I'm watching out for some books that I lost in the second tree falling that I really am sad I lost, but I'm trying not to pay too much money for them, even though they're worth a lot of money. So we'll see. Oh no, the experience of online Goodwill is bad for me. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, the existence. I thought you had an experience that was bad. No, it's also bad for me, which is why I only go when I'm actually looking for something specific. I do not browse over there. I do not just go over to that website on a whim. In the same way, it's rare that I go to thrift stores on a whim. Because, like, just generally. Because, yes, I won't necessarily spend more money than I need to spend, but I'll buy more shit than I need to be buying. I'm supposed to be in purging mode right now for, the move to Europe. And if I'm buying shit, I'm not purging. So, yeah. Anyway. Okay, so we're going to take a break. If you need something to eat, something to drink, you need to use a restroom. This is the time that we set aside for that, so it doesn't cut into the sprinting time. If you haven't taken your meds yet, and you should have taken your meds by now, please take your meds. I still have 2 pills left to take for the day. And then I've been trying to refocus on that because the last couple weeks I have not been doing good. So my afternoon pills are all vitamins. So if I miss them, it's not a big deal. But I've gotten into the habit of not taking them for a couple weeks now, and I need to stop doing that. So I'm trying to be really pay attention. to that. So I did take all of them yesterday, and as long as I take these last two, I'll have taken all of them today. Also, if you've been with me for today for a while and you've been sitting this whole time, take a minute to just get up and walk around a little, just to stretch out those muscles, get the blood flow going. All right. Mandy says, Matt will take me if I've been really down. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Let us be right back. Let me put 5 minutes on the clock. And so I'll be gone. I'll get back before the end of the timer, but it'll be a couple minutes. All right. Let's be right back. Well, that was good timing. That was the end of the song. I'm sorry I missed the timer. But I had to feed the cat. I had to get more tea. I had to open a quick package. And I had to get lunch. Because I'm an adult. I can eat what the fuck I want. There we go. Alright. Excuse me. Did y'all get all your shit done you needed to get done on the break? Oh, I also had to go to the bathroom. There were so many things to do. So, y'all get the shit done? You got your butt back in the chair? We doing okay? We just about ready? Okay, Mandy took her meds. Yes, that's a win. Good job, good job. Excellent job. And got the kid to take his. I feel like that deserves a bonus. I think you should have a cookie. I feel like you deserve it. You should have a cookie. Speaking of cookies, I ordered Girl Scout cookies, y'all. My little niece, if you looked in the Facebook group, my little niece has joined Girl Scout. She's like 6 years old. She's so cute. Right? Internet cookie! Yay! So, yeah. So anyway, I ordered like $50 worth of Girl Scout cookies. Now, in my defense, they're like $6 a box now. When I used to sell Girl Scout cookies, they were like $1. So, Alicia says, I'm ready for a nap, but can't because kiddo pickup is at 2:45. Ugh. Do they not know they need to schedule their shit around your naps? Do they not know that? Like, I feel like that should be like a basic. Schools should schedule their shit around the parents' naps. What's the problem? So, all right. So definitely read more then, Alicia. I'm going to go off camera for this, for at least the first part of the sprint so I can eat my very nutritious adult lunch. So Alicia's like, yeah, I wish. I know. Part of why I have no children, because I don't want somebody else, you know, dictating my schedule to me, whether that's the school or whether that's the kids. So, all right. But let's get into it. Like I said, I'm going to be off camera for a little bit while I nom, because ain't nobody want to see that. James, what are you doing with us today? I'm assuming you're working on day job stuff. Let's see. Let me find all my buttons. Okay. Let me find my, that's not the right thing. There's the right thing. Okay. Got 20 minutes. Mandy says, definitely good to not have them if you don't want that. The thing is, I'd make a really good mom, I think. But I just don't want to. All right. Let's get it, y'all. 20 minutes. Here we go. Okay, dang it. I was watching the thing and then I got sidetracked and then the timer went off and I was like, dang it, I was going to be ready and I wasn't ready. All right. How'd everybody do that round? So I went into my newsletter thing. One of the things I have to do has to do with the newsletter. And then I got sidetracked by doing a different thing in the newsletter account that I've been needing to do for a while. So I was working on that. So, yeah. Okay. So we've got another sprint going on. And we have, it's almost 3 o'clock. Like, we have enough time for one more 20-minute sprint. But I feel like I'm being pretty productive, so I'm probably going to do another sprint after this one. We'll see how I feel at the end of this, but we might do another one. But I have been on camera for a very long time at this point, since like a little after 9 this morning. So I don't know. I haven't decided. We'll see. We'll see how I feel at the end of the next sprint. So, all right. How'd everybody else do? Come on, come on, come on, come on. Alicia, you still out there? I feel like Alicia might have had to go pick up the kiddo. Yeah, I think Alicia had to go pick up the kiddo because it's already 2:40. And she said she had to pick the kiddo up at 2:45. So I'm guessing she is not there anymore. All right. Who is still with me on Twitch? I know Mandy's still with me. James, you still out there? And Vale, you still out there? So if we still have like only a couple people whenever I decide to wrap up the stream, we may or may not raid. If we've only got a couple people, I'm just going to shut it down. Oh, Alicia's still here for a couple more minutes. Yay. Yay. Huzzah. And Alicia read 40 pages of a graphic novel. What graphic novel is it? I don't read graphic novels, but I love the idea of graphic novels, and I'm always nosy. The only graphic novels I've read are The Sandman. And I read them way late because I don't generally read, graphic novels. So I was not at the forefront of Neil Gaiman's career at that point. Alicia got a snack and read. Excellent. Oh yeah, you have to leave at 5. Oh, at 1:45. I thought you were in Florida. Are you in the panhandle of Florida? Or are you not in Florida and I just made that up in my head? I mean, it's entirely possible that I made it up in my head. But I feel like you were in Florida. But the Panhandle is definitely in Central Time, so interesting. Interesting. Okay. So, since I will probably miss you leaving, please be safe out there. Drive carefully. Get your kiddos. I'm reading the Wings of Fire graphic novel, The Lost Heir. Reading with your son. Okay, I love that. I love that. For real. That is fabulous. Excuse me. All right. Again, if I miss you leaving, please drive safely. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you for hanging out with me. Yes, I'm in Florida and on EST. Oh, you meant to type 2:45. Okay, good. Because when I was doing the math in my head before you told me you were still here, I was like, oh yeah, it's almost like she said she had to go at 2:45. And then you're like, I have to leave at 1:45. And I'm like, wait a minute. I really thought I knew where she was. He reads it and then I read. Oh, I love that. I love that. Yay. All right, but let's get back into it. I don't think I have anybody left on Twitch, if I'm being honest. Oh no, I mean I know Mandy's on Twitch, but because she's but I don't think any of the others are there. So, and then we'll lose Alicia on YouTube, and I won't have anybody there either. It's fine. I mean, it may just be the universe telling me I need to just have one more sprint and then be done. We'll see how it goes. All right, I got 20 minutes, y'all. I'm just rambling at this point. I am just the fuck out there. I don't know. All right, 20 minutes, y'all. Alicia says, now I'm getting ready to leave, so thank you for sprints. Thank you for hanging out. Safe travels. Enjoy your time with your kids. I'll see you tomorrow morning because I'll be in your sprints tomorrow morning. All right, 20 minutes, y'all. Let's get going. Here we go. Y'all, that was the shortest 20 minutes. I was not ready. Not ready. I was in the middle of fixing something that I gave up on yesterday. Or day before yesterday. Because it hurt my head. But I'm in the middle of it. So I'm going to continue to work on it. So we're going to do one more sprint, y'all. One more sprint. And on Twitch, I'm probably not going to raid unless we suddenly get many more viewers, and then I'll raid. But if we don't get many more viewers, then we're just going to pack it in. So how did everybody else do? I know Alicia had to take off over on YouTube. Mandy, you said you were going to work on playing with Affinity, which is the photo editor. I'm pretty sure Anita has used that in the past. Which I need to learn anyways to put together cover art ideas to eventually talk to an artist. Very cool. Very cool. Who's still out there? James, are you still with us? Oh! Wow.
The Tiger Rights just raided with 10 viewers.
Yay!
Welcome, raiders.
You know what that means, y'all? That means we are going to raid when we end the sprint, assuming folks stay with us. Hello, Tiger Rights. How are you today? I am all, comfy in my little fuzzy robe because it's cold here in Atlanta. So, Angel Faye is here. Hi, welcome in, Angel. Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a minute. The stream's going really well. It started really strong and then everybody had to leave for various events today. So there's only a couple of us in here. We're also streaming over to YouTube. And so Glenda is over on YouTube. Hello, Glenda. Welcome into you as well. Yay. Alicia had to take off. She had to go pick up the kiddos, so she's already gone. Vale is still here. Yay. James. Oh, another James. We have so many Jameses. All right. So, let's see. Angel says, good to see you too. Mandy is having fun with playing with Affinity, but definitely learning. Welcome in, James Woodwright. Glad you could join us as well. Vale says, it's actually the only application that keeps me on Windows. Do you mean Affinity? Yes, Angel, Fiona Min, who is Mandy, is playing with Affinity so that she can ultimately give some ideas to a cover artist, is my understanding. So, yes. All right. So the Tiger Writes, how was your stream? Thank you so much for the raid. For those of you who are new here, my name is Vanessa. I write primarily urban fantasy, and for novels, they often have horrific elements. I write short fiction, which very often ends up being horror, but not always, but very often. I'm currently in my feminine rage phase, so you know, if that's your thing, that's your thing. You're welcome here. What else? Oh, I'm a professional editor and have been since 2008. I do fiction, most genres, except for like sci-fi and many of those subgenres. But I do almost everything else. So, let's see. Oh, Mandy, Angel says she can help you if you need it with Affinity. Tiger Wright says my stream was good. 2 chapters today. One for Mind Your Step and one for the Engineer's Family. Excellent, excellent. I'm not writing right now. I'm working on basically January and May are when a lot of the organizational things that for various conventions that I work with, that's when some of, like, January is not super high time, but there's a lot of things I need to do for for a couple of the cons, just a lot of mainly small things. And then May is when I have a lot of stuff that I have to do for like many cons. So, yeah, so I'm trying to like keep ahead on that so I don't fall behind and freak out. So yeah, so that's what I've been working on. Emails, admin, things like that. That's what I've been working on mostly today. Galinda will be listening to Second Chance Romance by Olivia Dade. Excellent. Love that. Mandy said thank you to Angel. Angel said you're welcome. Angel uses Photoshop for book covers, but didn't have time to check Affinity. So I don't know. I mean, I imagine all the photo editing software have a lot of similarities across the board. But yeah, so cool. All right. Oh, the other piece, there's two other things. One, if you're new here and you have never met one of our channel mascots, this is Octomuse. She is gender fluid, so you'll hear me use different pronouns for her. She also serves as first warning to my husband that I am grumpy pants, which I'm not usually, but sometimes. So, let's see. Vale says, it scrolled. I may need to find an editor who can handle very soft sci-fi that borders on science fantasy. Well, I will say that there are probably a number of editors in the writers troupe who could help you with that. Who, would be qualified to do that. I don't do science fiction generally at all, even if it crosses over into science fantasy, mainly because I don't read science fiction. So I don't feel like I have the knowledge to effectively edit in a way that benefits the author. So I tend to stay away from genres that I have never really read in to any extent for that reason. Because as an editor, I'm supposed to be of use to the author. And if I don't know the genre conventions, or if I don't appreciate the genre conventions, then I'm just not going to be effective for them. So I'm not willing to take their money in order to give them something that's not useful for them. So, but there are quite a number of people who do edits of different sorts in TWT. So asking there might be, for recommendations might be worthwhile. And you're certainly not the first, the only person who writes soft sci-fi or science fantasy. You're absolutely not the only one. So yeah, definitely feel free to put a post up in the group or in the group's Discord and see what your other writers might suggest. Tiger Wright says, the next time you have to renew the subscription to Photoshop, Angel Faye, look at the price for Affinity. It's a lifetime membership. Yeah, one of our regulars, Anita, she uses most of the, whatever the company is that does Affinity. There's a whole suite of things, and she uses a lot of those. Let's see. So you're a molluscan. I am not a molluscan. I'm the rabbit one. For me. I don't know if you were talking to me, James, but I was answering you. Let's see. Vale says, yeah, I can get that. I'm flying blind by the seat of my pants to combine metaphors. Sometimes those metaphors are applicable. Tiger Wright says, now I have to head out to hunt down dinner. Well, thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate you sharing and entrusting me with your community. And I hope you have a great dinner and you have a great evening. And we'll see you later. Thanks again for the raid. Anybody else who needs to raid and run, that is absolutely a thing here. If you need to lurk, that is also fine. We understand how that goes. The other thing I wanted to talk about was that I run the Writers Troupe, which is a writerly support and education group on Facebook, Discord, Twitch, and YouTube, all the places. So if that's something you're interested in, let me put, I will put the information. So this is the Facebook group. It's going to come through twice, and I apologize in advance, but I haven't sat down to figure out why it's doing that yet. And there's the Discord link, maybe, if it goes through. Are you going through? There we go. So feel free to join either of those if you'd like to be kept apprised of the different events we have every week. We do lots and lots of writing sprints, and then we also have a writerly discussion on Sunday evening, where we vote on the Facebook group during the week for the topic, and then we have a little discussion about it. So yeah, let's see. Scrolling back, we see... Bill says, I know little to nothing about this genre, but hey, I love it. If you love it, then you at least know a little, so that works. Oh, and the Affinity app is now free, which is even better. James Woodwright says, Lapin, like me, yes, the bunnies. I can never remember, I don't know why. Then, you're the captain of Owlsa? Is that it? I am not really, I got involved with, okay, so for those who don't know, we're talking about Game of Tomes. And I got involved a couple years ago, and then life has been life, and I've had limited bandwidth for things, and Game of Tomes, even though I still frequent several of the streamers and I still raid to them and things like that, and I still absolutely like cheerlead it, I don't really participate as much because I just don't have the mental bandwidth for it these days. So Anita is over on YouTube. Hi Anita, welcome in. Thank you. She is sprint hopping and popping in to say hi. Hello. We usually wrap up around this time, but I've been really kind of more focused than I have been, I don't know, in the last ever, it feels like. So I'm going to do at least one more sprint. We might even keep going. We'll see how we feel. And now that we have more people, it might, I always like having more people. Not that I mind doing sprints for just a couple people, but I always like having more people. So there's, more activity and stuff. So anyway, let's see. Vale says you need a Canva account to authenticate the app every now and then. But that's still a really good deal. Angel is a dino. Totally cool. Totally cool. I do not judge. So, all right. But I'm going to stop chitter-chattering, y'all. And we are going to get started again. I am working on, what am I working on? I'm working on setting up, so one of the things I do for DragonCon for the writer's track is I have a newsletter that is for guests and attending professionals that I keep so that when I get my schedule together, I can send them out a survey so they can let me know which of my panels they're interested in being on. So then I have I can create better panels if I know the panelists want to be on the panel. So, so I'm in the process of having to update that with 2026, and I'm, people who have been accepted for 2026. And so I'm trying to kind of automate that as much as I can without having to pay for it. I'm using a free account. I have a paid account with this particular email system, whatever it is, for my own newsletter, but I have a separate free one for this because I don't want to pay money for it. But it also you can't do a lot of like rules kind of things. So I'm having to figure out how to do some things, not necessarily manually, but kind of. Anyway, so that's what I'm working on. That's what I had my head in when the timer went off last time. I didn't even notice. James says, but we secretly do judge. I mean, that's true. I do judge everything, but I'm not mean. Even if I judge something as being stupid, I won't necessarily be mean about it. You may never know I think it's stupid. And he's like, joke. Nah, we clocking you, James. All right. Vale says, yeah, it's a great deal. You get vector, raster, and publisher all in one application. Okay. That's cool. Yeah. So that's like designer, Photoshop, and publisher. No, I knew what you meant, but I'm glad you translated it to Adobe speak so that most folks also know that. All right. But we're going to get going. So I'm going to continue. I'm going to go back and continue what I was doing with that. I'm hoping I can wrap it up in this 20 minutes, but we'll see. All right, where is my timer? It's over here. Okay, are we ready? And if you would like to check in and let us know what you're working on today, you can be reading, you can do laundry. I have to finish laundry. Whatever it is you need to be getting done, feel free to let us know what you're working on. And if you don't want to, that's okay too. I'm not your mom, you ain't got to listen to me, but we do love to cheer each other on here. So, all right, y'all. Also, as a note, we do not play music during the sprints, unless somebody on Twitch wants to purchase music with their plot bunnies. But this may be the last sprint of the stream, which means I will have to be utilizing my desktop audio to find someone to raid, since we do have more than two people in here now, and so I'm not gonna. So nobody gets to buy music this round. And even if I extend it, nobody will be able to buy music that round because it's very much do I feel like doing another sprint? Yes, let's do another sprint. Or do I feel like doing another sprint? No. No, I don't. And then we'll be done. All right. And over on YouTube, Annette says hi to Glenda. So, yay. All right, 20 minutes, y'all. Here we go. Okay. Y'all who are on Twitch, you've got like a minute left to vote on who we're going to raid. There are no votes, so you will be at my mercy if you don't vote. So we've got Starborn Striker, Sable Aradia, a Digital Cow, and Bree, who you might remember is the Egyptologist who is working on her master's. And so she's a fun nerd. So yeah, you've just got a couple seconds left, so get in there and vote. Welcome back, Anita. Anita had an interesting conversation on the evils of AI, and I mentioned that I am so tired of AI, everything from its existence to talking about it. And Anita said, "You'd like my guest then? I think he'd like to burn it all to the ground. I will hold that torch with him." Looks like Sable won. So that is who we're going to raid. Thank you, folks, for your votes. Robbie is dropping, must run to the post office. All right, Robbie, we'll see you maybe tomorrow. Maybe you'll join us again tomorrow. James says, I mean, you say I would be at your mercy, like I wouldn't enjoy it. Well, there is that. It's true. But someone has thwarted that plan because then I don't have to make a decision. All right, so how did everybody do that round? I finished up the little piece I needed to finish up. The next thing I need to do is actually send out the email, and I've been working on editing that now. I had already started it the other day. And then once I get that done, I can check that shit off my list. So, Vale says, I'll see y'all in Sable's channel. I'm already there. So I think the other James is already there too. I think I saw him sneaking in there. So thank you for hanging out with us here, Vale. So we'll see you over there. Mandy says, I've got a cover, but the real lesson is how badly I will need a cover artist when the time comes. Yes. Yes. Same. James says, I deployed things to the database and didn't do anything to have to go to data confession. Good job. Excellent. I mean, we know you'll end up at data confession anyway. Data confession is when James confesses to his boss that he changed something in the database without letting her know ahead of time. So good job. Yes. I love it. All right, I'm going to go over the events of the coming week with the Writers Troupe as I know them as soon as I find the correct browser window. Doot. All right, I found it. Okay, let me go to January because you don't need to know about February yet. Soon, but not yet. All right, just tonight for a heads up, Alicia, who is in our YouTube channel, let me see if I can find that link for y'all. Let me find the link. I know it's over on this browser window, on this tab, on today. Anyway, Alicia is doing their reading sprints. I'm not in the right place. Tonight at, I think they start at 8. No, 8:30. So they start at 8:30. I'm going to give y'all that link. 8:30 Eastern time. If you want to go, well, let me do it on the other tab so that it goes to both. So if you want to read or write, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to, you can do whatever you want. They're really just sprints. That is Books and Things with Alicia. It's kind of gotten pushed up now because I spammed the channel with TWT stuff. But they're doing the reading sprints from 8:30 till I think 10:30. I think they do 2 hours. So I plan on being there to hang out and join them on that. Okay, so that's tonight at 8:30. Then tomorrow we will be back here at noon. Tomorrow's my favorite aunt's birthday, y'all. So at noon I'll be back here, noon till 3. Then I'll be on Twitch and YouTube, obviously. Then at 7 p.m. Amelia hosts her writing sprints. She goes from 7 until 9. These are all Eastern time, by the way. She goes from 7 till 9 and does 30-minute sprints. Then on Friday at 1 o'clock, I will be hosting co-working here. No, not here. I don't do it here. I do it on Zoom. Co-working at 1 p.m. till about 2:30. If you are part of the Discord or the TWT Facebook group, you will get notification of that. Well, on Facebook, it's in the group, in the events section, and on Discord, you can check out the Google Calendar, or you can just wait for it to show up in the events about 15 minutes before. Then at 7 p.m., Amelia hosts writing sprints again. Those are the 30-minute sprints from 7 till 9. On Saturday, our very own James Jarek, who is out in the chat on Twitch, he will be hosting Saturday Discord sprints. Obviously Saturday, obviously on Discord, at 11 a.m. He goes from 11 until 1 p.m. If you go into the voice chat of the Discord section of the Discord, that's not right, in the sprinting section of the Discord, he'll be waiting for you, and y'all can do sprints together. So 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. Then on Sunday at 10 a.m., Lisa Raby does her Sunday morning write-in. That is a Google Meet. If for some reason, we should know in the next couple days, she'll post whether she'll be doing it this week or not. If she's not doing it on Google Meet at 10 a.m., if she's not able to do it, then Dalen will be in the Discord doing it at 10 a.m. And either one of those go from 10 until noon. On Sunday morning. On Sunday evening at 7 p.m., we have our usual Zoom chat. You can vote on the topic or topics of your choice in the Facebook group in the events section. Just go to the Sunday event and there will be a post in there where you can vote or you can suggest a new topic. Unfortunately, I cannot as yet do that with Discord because I haven't figured out how to do that without giving myself a whole bunch of extra work. So for now, it's just on Facebook. We don't have anything on Monday next week, although Joe should be back the following week with his sprints and meditation in the afternoon. On Tuesday, though, at 7 p.m., Amelia does her writing sprints again from 7 till 9. Then on Wednesday, brings us right back around to then, and I'll be right here again at noon. All right, let me see what folks have been saying. Yes, James, always over there causing trouble. Alicia is back just in time to say bye. Yes, we are wrapping up. Folks on Twitch, we're going to raid. Folks on YouTube, we're just going to say goodbye here in a second. But I appreciate you coming back. Yay. Those of you who are on YouTube, please do not forget to, like and subscribe. That's it. I always forget to say that. Thank you, Fiona, for feeding the dragon. Mandy fed the dragon for us. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and raid. We are going to raid... Oops, that's not the right... We're going to raid Sable. Because she is the one who got the votes. You find her. There she is. And I know she just started recently. She's only been going like 30 minutes or something. All right, y'all. Are we ready? We're going to raid. Thank you as always for being here with us. And you guys really, you don't realize probably how much you actually helped me get my shit done. So I really appreciate everybody on Twitch and on YouTube. We will be back here tomorrow at noon doing this again. I hope y'all have a great rest of your day. We'll see you later. Bye. Bye.
Writer's Troop is writing.
Hey, how's it going? I haven't seen